I'm Carol Roth, and today we're discussing how, as the global financial order changes, precious metals keep coming up as critical anchors of financial stability. The BRICS countries, which is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have been seeking ways to end the U.S.'s reign as the global financial superpower. These countries' alliances perhaps seem as unlikely as Dorothy working with a Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, and Scarecrow in Oz, but there are some relevant analogies to be found. One is that this ragtag group of individuals came together to go confront the big power that had control over everything, the Wizard of Oz. The U.S. has been the wizard of the financial world for nearly 80 years, with the U.S. dollar dominating both global reserves and global trade. Additionally, the way that the Oz cast found their salvation was following a path of gold, one composed of yellow bricks that led them from peril to success. Not unlike Oz's motley crew, the bricks are also turning to bricks of gold, physical gold bullion. That's the same type of bullion that you buy through Goldline. The bricks, originally an idea from a Goldman Sachs research paper, turned into an institution around the time of the Great Recession financial crisis. These emerging nations came together to forge alliances to compete with traditional Western alliances. The BRICS also aim to work together to give themselves more power and a voice in the global economic and political landscape. It's not surprising that the BRICS would seek, among their efforts, to try to lessen their dependence on the U.S. dollar. For the privilege of being the world's reserve currency, which includes the cheap financing that the government has exploited for its own growth, the Fed is supposed to keep the U.S. dollar stable, not only domestically, but for the good of the global economy. Amazingly, in recent decades, the Fed and government policy has managed to do neither. In addition to destroying the dollar's purchasing power domestically, the Fed's and the government's policies have wreaked havoc on the global stage. As U.S. dollars become more expensive, the same U.S. dollar buys less today than it did in the past. For countries who import critical commodities like oil and food, which have been for decades priced mostly in dollars, that shift threatens their food and energy security. The action of the Biden administration to weaponize the dollar by freezing founding BRICS member Russia's access to its reserves after its Ukraine invasion was a further turning point, maybe even the point of no return, causing more urgency for the BRICS to find alternative currencies. From the recent yearly BRICS conference that took place in South Africa, we learned the group has put out invitations to more than double its size as of January 2024. These invites went to Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the UAE, as well as Argentina, Ethiopia, and Egypt. This increases collaboration among major oil producers and exporters, and powerful countries both friendly and unfriendly to the West. It also spells trouble for the U.S. dollar in return. Certainly engineered by China to shore up its stability in its oil imports and to create more resistance to the U.S. dollar hegemony, the meeting wrapped with a call to consider more trade in local currencies. From a practical perspective, with the tons that many of these countries have been stockpiling, gold could play a role in loosely backing such trade. In Oz, Dorothy and her friends had to defeat a common perceived enemy, in that story a wicked witch which happened to be from the West, for their survival. It seems like the BRICS are doing their best to do the same. Now, these developments could happen quickly or maybe take a long time to come to fruition, depending on the savvy and execution of the BRICS nations. Regardless of timing, it all seems quite bullish for gold long term. Whether it's a markup in gold's price resulting from increased demand from using gold in trade, or a decline in the dollar's purchasing power long term, as has been expected from playing less of a role in the global economy, and the continued devaluation by policy, the signs point to a journey down that yellow brick road. Now, if you haven't had an opportunity to go down the yellow brick road or to put on some silver slippers and hedge your own portfolio, or maybe you're considering a new trip since you haven't hedged enough, consider giving my friends at Goldline a call to help you. In fact, if you call Goldline at 800-319-9533 or visit goldline.com, they have a special offer. With every monster box of silver American Eagle coins you purchase, you will receive a tube of silver Betsy Ross Freedom Rounds, which were designed by me exclusively for Goldline, for free. That is 800-319-9533 or goldline.com. The yellow BRICS road seems to be made of bricks of gold. As changes happen in the global financial order, precious metals keep coming up as critical anchors of financial stability. Now do it with me. Click your heels together 3 times and say, "There is no hedge like gold." I'm Carol Roth for Goldline. I'll see you next time. The views and opinions expressed in this video are those of Carol Roth and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Goldline or its parent company or affiliates. These views and opinions may have been previously disseminated in other media.